the lazy but genius way to revive dead soil and trigger microbial life instantly. Most gardeners know the heartbreak of soil that simply won't respond. You add fertilizer, you water faithfully, but your plants remain stunted and lifeless. What many don't realize is that the real engine of fertile soil isn't the nutrients you pour in. It's the living community of microbes that turn dull dirt into vibrant earth. When those microbes die off, your soil becomes a desert no matter how much fertilizer you add. The good news? You don't need back-breaking labor or expensive products to bring it back to life. There's a lazy but genius way to trigger microbial revival using simple, natural ingredients that feed and wake up the soil biology. Let's dive straight into what really works, how it works, and the exact formulas you can start using today to turn your dead soil into a living, breathing powerhouse again. Why dead soil needs microbes to live again. Dead soil isn't just dry dirt. It's soil that has lost its underground ecosystem. Healthy earth is packed with bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes, all working together to recycle organic matter into nutrients your plants can actually use. Without microbes, the soil becomes compact, starved of oxygen, and unable to retain water. Think of it like a car engine with no oil. It might have the parts, but it simply won't run. The key to revival is not dumping chemical fertilizers, but instead feeding the biology so microbes multiply and restore balance. The lazy secret sugar wake-up formula. If you've ever wondered what makes microbes spring back to life, the answer is simple: sugar. Just like people need food for energy, soil microbes feed on simple carbohydrates. The laziest and most effective way to supply that is with unsulfured blackstrap molasses. This thick, dark syrup is rich not only in sugar, but also in trace minerals that microbes love. Here's the exact formula you can make in just a few minutes. 2 tablespoons of unsulfured blackstrap molasses, 1 gallon, about 3.8 liters, of non-chlorinated water. Stir until the molasses dissolves completely. Pour directly onto the soil around your plants or into the beds you want to revive. The sugar content instantly energizes dormant microbes while the minerals give them extra fuel to reproduce. Within days, the soil begins to smell fresher and look darker, signs that life is returning. Compost extract instead of heavy compost loads. You don't always need to haul wheelbarrows of compost. A faster and lazier trick is compost extract, a nutrient-rich liquid made by soaking a small amount of finished compost in water. Unlike compost tea, which requires brewing and aeration, an extract is simply steeped and strained. This shortcut transfers beneficial microbes and organic acids into a liquid that's easy to pour into the soil. To make it at home: 2 cups of quality compost, 1 gallon, about 3.8 liters, of non-chlorinated water. Let it steep for 24 hours, stirring occasionally, then strain through a cloth. Pour the extract over your soil. This method doesn't just add nutrients, it introduces live microbes directly, while also giving them a food-rich environment to multiply. You know, reviving soil doesn't always mean buying special ingredients. Sometimes, simple kitchen scraps like overripe bananas, fruit peels, and even stale bread can trigger microbial revival when handled correctly. These leftovers provide natural sugars, starch, and fiber that microbes break down into humus-building compounds. The lazy way to use them, honestly, is by blending the scraps into a slurry and pouring it right into the soil, instead of waiting months for them to decompose in a compost pile. Here's a quick blend that works wonders. Take 2 ripe bananas, or you can use the equivalent in fruit peels. Add 3 slices of stale bread and 1 liter of water. Blend until smooth and pour it around plant bases or over your garden bed. The slurry penetrates quickly, giving microbes instant food and accelerating decomposition underground. It might surprise you, but dairy products like milk and yogurt are excellent microbial triggers when used carefully. They contain natural lactic acid bacteria, which help restore balance in the soil's microbial community. This is especially powerful for soils that have been sterilized by chemicals or have fungal imbalances. Now, the right dilution is crucial to prevent bad odors or attracting pests. So, use 1 cup of milk or plain yogurt to 1 gallon, that's 3.8 liters, of non-chlorinated water. Mix and drench the soil lightly. The lactic bacteria will multiply quickly, while proteins and fats provide extra energy for the microbial web. Within just a few weeks, soil structure begins to loosen and retain more moisture. If you want to push microbial revival even further, seaweed extract or dried kelp is honestly one of the best tools available. Seaweed doesn't just feed microbes, it contains natural growth hormones and trace minerals that stimulate both microbial life and plant root systems. This creates a symbiotic cycle where roots feed the microbes and, in turn, the microbes feed the roots. To use powdered kelp, just take 1 tablespoon of kelp powder and 1 gallon, or 3.8 liters, of non-chlorinated water. Mix well and water directly into the soil. This simple step creates a microbial explosion while also giving your plants a resilience boost against stress and disease. Alright, so one of the most powerful yet often overlooked ways to revive soil microbes is through fermented plant juice, or FPJ for short. This technique, borrowed from natural farming, basically involves fermenting fast-growing plants like comfrey, nettle, or even spinach with brown sugar. The process, you see, extracts plant enzymes and beneficial microbes, which, when applied, really spark a chain reaction of microbial activity in the soil. Now, here's how to make a lazy but still effective FPJ. First, chop 1 pound of leafy greens, then mix that with 1 pound of brown sugar. Place it all in a jar, cover it loosely, and leave it for 5 to 7 days. After fermentation, just strain the liquid. When you're ready to apply, dilute 2 tablespoons of FPJ in 1 gallon of water and pour it onto your soil. This powerful concentrate acts like a microbial starter kit, supplying both food and a whole bunch of diverse microbial strains. Now, adding raw biochar directly into soil can, well, sometimes lock up nutrients. But when you soak biochar in a microbial food solution, like that molasses water mixture, it turns into a long-term home for microbes. Think of it, if you will, as building microbial housing. The porous structure of biochar provides shelter, while the sugars give those new residents food to grow. Once applied, the microbes multiply right inside the char and slowly spread out into the surrounding soil. For best results, you'll want to mix 1 part biochar with enough molasses solution to saturate it fully. Let it sit for 24 hours, and then incorporate it into the top 3 inches of soil. This method, honestly, not only revives microbes quickly, but also ensures they have a long-term habitat to really thrive. So, every formula I've shared here only works if you use the right kind of water. Chlorinated tap water, well, it kills microbes on contact, just undoing all your hard work. Always use rainwater, well water, or tap water that's been left to sit for 24 hours so the chlorine can evaporate. Without this step, even the best microbial boosters just won't survive. As you start applying these lazy but, genius solutions, you'll notice some changes. The soil gets darker, more crumbly, and much easier to work with. Earthworms come back, and that's a clear sign those microbes are thriving. Your plants, well, they'll have greener leaves, faster growth, and stronger resistance to pests. These aren't miracles. They're just the natural result of reviving the living community underground. Reviving dead soil doesn't take any expensive kits or endless effort. With just a few simple ingredients, molasses, compost extract, kitchen leftovers, diluted milk, seaweed, fermented plant juice, and activated biochar, you can wake up the microbial world right beneath your feet. Each formula feeds and multiplies those tiny life forms that turn plain old dirt into a living ecosystem. When microbes thrive, plants thrive. The beauty of these methods is, Well, they're lazy in execution, but genius in effect. Just a few minutes of mixing and pouring can undo years of soil degradation. And once the microbes set up shop, your soil becomes self-sustaining, needing less work from you, season after season. Dead soil isn't the end of your gardening journey. It's really the beginning of a revival story. By using these simple, science-backed tricks, you can bring back microbial life and transform your garden without a lot of sweat or strain. Just start with molasses water today, then layer in other boosters as you need, and watch your soil come alive right before your eyes. If you found this guide valuable, go ahead and subscribe to Growth Hub Central Crops and share this resource with your fellow gardeners. Together, let's keep spreading these lazy but genius ways to grow thriving gardens.